Welcome to the Weekly Health RX by Arvasi. I'm Dr. Avanti Kumar-Singh.
And I'm Dr. Tanmeet Sethi. We're physicians trained in modern medicine and experts in Ayurveda. And each Sunday, we cut through the noise with physician-led, science-backed prescriptions personalized to your biology.
From your hormones and gut to your circadian rhythm and nervous system, we'll help you take care of the systems that matter most so you can stop guessing and start feeling better. Finally, medicine that fits you.
Hello and welcome. This is your weekly Health RX for the week of November 2nd. And today is the change of daylight savings time when we fall back 1 hour. So this week, we're talking about what happens when the clocks fall back and why your body is struggling. So maybe this is you. You're waking up at 3 a.m. with your mind already racing about everything you have to do. And by 5 p.m. when it gets dark, your body wants to completely shut down. But there's still a whole evening ahead. Or maybe your night sweats got worse after the time change. Or you just feel like you're dragging yourself through each day, even though you're sleeping more. If that's been happening to you this week, you're not imagining it. There's a reason this is happening. And today we're going to show you exactly what to do to support your health with this fallback of daylight savings time.
And so here's what's happening right now. Today is daylight savings time, and that's ended. It's on November 2nd, and the clocks fell back 1 hour. And suddenly it's dark by 5 p.m., which is incredibly depressing. In Chicago, it's just too dark, I think. And we're also entering peak Vata season in Ayurveda. And that's when the dryness, the cold, the wind, and the overstimulation really reach a peak. And so November is a really demanding month. It's probably the most demanding month of the fall season. And if you're in perimenopause or menopause, your hormones are already fluctuating up and down. Your sleep is probably already disturbed with night sweats at 3 a.m. And your mood is already more variable. And then you add this on top of it, and it's just a lot to handle. And so this week is when your nervous system will also lose its ability to really settle. It's when your circadian rhythm, which is your body's internal clock, it's that 24-hour clock, it really gets thrown off completely by this time change. And you'd think that it's just 1 hour, it wouldn't make a big difference, but it has a huge effect on your health and on your wellness and on your feelings of just feeling sort of stable and calm. And really, if you don't really address this right now, you will probably start feeling like you're running on fumes for the rest of November and December, because then you add on the holidays and the stress and all of the family dynamics, and they all hit just a little harder when your foundation is already unstable. But if you can really transition with this daylight savings and make the adjustment a little quicker and a little bit more sort of feeling in control, you're actually going to feel a lot better. And it's really important too that the support that you have actually fits your body and your physiology, because that way you can recalibrate a lot quicker and you'll enter the holidays feeling more steady instead of feeling depleted.
Exactly. It's really important to understand and get this right this week, because here's what's happening physiologically. Your body has this internal 24-hour clock called your circadian rhythm, and it's controlled by a cluster of cells in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your master clock. And this master clock regulates everything. What time cortisol rises to wake you up, what time melatonin rises to make you sleepy, even what time your digestion is strongest, everything, your body temperature, your immune system. And if you really want to understand this master clock, it's important to understand what sets it, which is light, specifically the timing and intensity of light exposure hitting your eyes. So here's what should happen. You wake up, morning light hits your eyes, your master clock says, it's daytime. I need to produce cortisol and shut off melatonin, raise my body temperature, start to activate digestion. And then as the sun sets and it gets dark, your master clock says, oh, it's nighttime. I need to lower that cortisol. I need to produce melatonin, drop that temperature, and go into rest mode. This is called circadian alignment, when your internal clock matches the external light-dark cycle. But when the clocks change, here's what actually happens. Your internal clock is still running on the old time, but suddenly the external world, the light dark cycle, shifted by 1 hour. So your body thinks it's 6 a.m., but the clock says 5 a.m. Or your body thinks it's 9 p.m., but the clock says 8 p.m. And this creates circadian misalignment, a mismatch between your biological clock and the environmental clock.
And research shows that this circadian misalignment disrupts every system in your body. No wonder we feel so off, right? Studies have actually found that there are increased rates of cardiovascular events, which is heart attacks, stroke, mood disorders, metabolic dysfunction, injuries in the workplace, car crashes, in the days and weeks that follow time changes. In fact, a Stanford medicine study published in 2025 found that switching back and forth between daylight savings time and standard time is actually really bad for our health, worse than either permanent option. And they also found that circadian disruption from this twice yearly change that we have both in the spring and then in the fall, right? We spring forward in the spring and we fall back right now today. This contributes to so many cases of stroke and so many cases of obesity. And here's what's really challenging about this time change that we have today, where, we're falling back. We think that we're all gaining an hour, right? Most of us are so excited about that. I know I am. I don't know about you, Tanmeet, but I'm super excited. I'm like, 1 more hour to sleep, right? But here's the thing. Most of us don't actually get extra sleep that night. We actually are throwing ourselves off before it even starts, right? And what happens is that because it gets darker earlier in the evening, and then it's lighter in the morning earlier, right? Our whole melatonin and cortisol balance is completely thrown off. And so this is why we feel so off, right? We can't sleep as well. We're waking up earlier. It's lighter. I mean, it's just confusing all around.
Yeah, Avanti, I really agree. I mean, it feels like this extra hour, but then in my body, it feels like something's totally off. And so, that whole circadian misalignment is real. Your cortisol and melatonin are spiking at different times. Your digestion's all over the place. And it just feels like everything's out of sync. And here's what most doctors won't tell you. This circadian disruption doesn't show up in the same way in every woman's body. So some of you will wake up tomorrow morning after the time change feeling anxious and scattered. Your mind's already racing. Others will feel irritable and reactive. And others will feel heavy and foggy, wanting to hit the snooze button 3 times. So the reason that you feel it differently and the solution that will actually work for your body depends on your unique biology, what we call in Ayurveda, your dosha. We always say Ayurveda is the original personalized medicine because for thousands of years, Ayurveda has recognized that we're not all built the same way. So some of our bodies are more mobile and variable. Those would be more vata types. Some bodies are more intense and heat generating. That would be more pitta. Some bodies are more stable and slow moving, more kapha. And some bodies are a combination of some of these. And that's what makes Ayurveda personalized medicine. Your dosha determines how your nervous system responds to stress, how your hormones fluctuate, and how you experience circadian disruption. So when you know your type, your dosha, you can finally get prescriptions and practices that actually work for your body instead of generic advice that works for no one.
Exactly. So here's what to do. Take the dosha assessment at myarvasi.com. It literally takes 5 minutes. And what will happen is you'll discover your unique biology, your dosha. You'll know if you're vata, pitta, kapha, or some combination. And then you'll get this week's prescription specifically personalized for your body, for your constitution. What you'll learn is what is causing your circadian disruption symptoms, and then we'll tell you exactly what to do about it. We'll go into detail about an evening protocol that will help you this week, help you to adjust quickly to this time change from daylight savings and falling back 1 hour. And this isn't generic advice. This is your personalized prescription. It's what your body needs right now to support you, not in 3 months after trying 5 more things that just don't work. So now let's talk about what this time change means for you and your dosha and exactly what you can do to adjust quickly. Thanks for listening to the Weekly Health RX by Arvasi. Be sure to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen so you never miss your weekly prescription.
And make sure to take the Arvasi Dosha Data Assessment at myarvasi.com, linked in the show notes, so you can unlock your biology and get your own personalized weekly prescription.